are live. We are here, and it's officially the hottest hour lunch talk with your girl, Cher Ferguson. And my special guest is in the building. I'm so excited. Please tell everybody who you are and where you're from.
Hello, my name is Assetou Kone. I'm from New York, I could say, but originally I'm from Mali.
So, Mali in the building.
Yes, my parents are immigrants from Mali. I was born here. I did some time here, about 11 years. At 11 years old, I moved back to Mali where I did my middle school and high school.
Woo!
And I guess, my parents wanted me to come back for college.
So Africa is in the building on the map. If y'all didn't know, now you know. She's from Mali, which is in Africa. Come with it, y'all. We come with it. Africa's in the building. So I'm excited that you came.
Yes, me too. I've been waiting for this for a minute now. We've been waiting for this for a minute.
I know, right?
Like we've organized this so long and it never happened. I'm just like, wow, every time the schedules.
When is it gonna happen? But it's happened now, so I'm so excited because we met.
We met before the show, before we even started the show.
Before I even started the show, we met. We did a beginning acting class.
Yes, together,
and it was
that was my first semester. That
was my first semester at City College too.
Yes, that was my first semester.
We met. So guys, we met each other at CCNY, and that was a good class.
It was a good class, and then after that, a whole 2 semesters later, a whole semester later, you're like, oh, I have a radio show.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's awesome.
Yes. And then I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here.
Yes, that was 2017.
Yeah, that was 2017. Yeah, and when are you graduating?
God, hopefully fall 2020 for sure. I'm trying to see if I can squeeze spring 2020, but fall 2020 is definitely gonna be like, that's it.
What is your major? Because I think that you probably changed it. Because when we came in, I don't know.
I was a business major when we met.
Okay, so what is your major now?
Now I am a political science major.
That's what I thought.
Minoring in Black Studies and French. So yeah, it has changed. That first semester was like, oh yeah, but then it's like, why am I doing business management when so I changed it to political science.
So hey, either way is good because education is key. So I'm excited for you and everything that you have in store. One thing I can say is that after school is a lot. So get prepared for that. You just find a job.
I believe you.
Find a job because it's real.
Yes, I agree. Like even I've done a few internships and stuff, and it's very different, and it's very I guess it's hard. I want to not say it's harder, but you have to really set stones. So when you do graduate, you have that network or, that combined of network. So that's really what I'm doing in this whole college career is
and that's the most important. The network is the most important. So the topic of today is business and marketing. And I didn't want to talk too much about it because I feel like we are business and marketing. Whatever we have, whatever we're doing, this show alone is business. It's business for me.
Yes,
and it's a lot of marketing, as you guys can see. Everything that I promote on my pages and everything that you have in store that we're going to talk about in this interview with your business and your marketing, how it has been. I can't wait, guys, because business and marketing is very important in your career, especially when you're an entrepreneur. So we're going to get into that. But first, let's talk about what do you do on campus, because I know you're heavily involved. And when you got heavily involved, that's probably when you changed your major and was like, I want to be more on the political side. So let's talk about that.
Well, I actually wanted to be more on the political side from the start because I saw my grandmother, or my maternal grandmother. She was a deputy in the region of Ségou back home in Mali. So I guess the fact that she was able to, have a family, have kids, and in that time, we're talking about the 70s here, in those countries, they just got decolonized, just going through this. That's really what really pushed me to be like, you know what, I want to, actually make change. And you can make change in any sense, what domain you're in, but it's really it's really important to understand the politics of everything. And whether it's business, and I learned whether business and whatever you do, you have to know some type of negotiation, context, and history. That's really what pushed me to change my major.
And you're right, because they will try to corrupt you in any way possible. Yes. So I understand.
Especially as a woman.
Oh my God, continue.
So
you learned that from
on campus. I'm VP of, right now I'm part of the student government, so I'm the VP of campus affairs. I'm VP of campus affairs right now, and I was president of the African Student Union last year.
Ooh, big ups to that. Yes, it was a lot. I saw you moving around camp. I'm like,
it was a lot, and that really was like my stepping stone in leadership, just because it was so, like, I wasn't expecting it to be this heavily, you know, just so much, especially dealing with a budget and making sure that the money's enough to, like, stuff like that.
To get around, right? Yes. It's never enough.
It's never, and you have to make it work.
Yeah.
And that's what you learn. You have to make it work. You have to work with the people, like, you have to make it work with your members and your coworkers, and you have to make it work with, you know, just like whatever resources you have.
I agree.
So when I came from president of African Student Union to, you know, the undergraduate student government, shout out to USG.
Yes, shout out to USG.
Honestly, I have to say I'm working with an amazing team. Like USG's, this is probably the best USG like that I've seen. You know, and I've been up in, you know, I was in USG before as a senator, so this is probably the best that I've seen so far. And even with that, like a lot of the events, I'm the one who coordinates a lot of the events. So vendors and getting everything ready, and you know, even in my committee, I have like a great team.
Even from before to now, I just see a lot of different things on campus. A lot of positivity, a lot of more students, so you guys can connect, you know?
Yes, which is really important. Any kind of, you know, co-working space that, you know, to connect is really important. And that's something that I learned, that, you know, you have your personality when it comes to work. You also have to show that, you know, that fun personality as well. So people can just be related. So you can be relatable to, like, people can relate to you.
Yes.
But I'm definitely being active on campus, just finding out so much about administration, finding so much about like what goes on in City College, how City College is, and even working on, you know, behind the scenes where, you know, it comes to like the actual legislation making memos and stuff like that. That has taught me so much, and, you know, it just made my understanding of things a lot more, let's say, like, broader.
So do you think you want to go into more politics after school?
I want to be a part of politics, in the sense, like, you know, kind of like, I want to know, like, if I'm not planning on, how do I say this? I want to be international, right? So,
yes.
So it's important to know the politics of different countries and how they work and how they function. If I want to be an entrepreneur at the end of the day, the goal is to have my own empire or whatnot. And for that goal alone, no matter where it is, I have to understand how to communicate with people.
Definitely. And I'm excited for you because you have that voice too. So you need that. And I do think blending the cultures together, as far as the United States, you heard me, the United States and Africa together, and just letting them get an understanding, especially a lot of African people that are here, or American people that have African ancestors. We are sometimes not connected to the history or even to the knowledge of what really goes on in Africa. And I was able to take a trip there, and I can say that it was really beautiful. It was really good. I was really safe, guys. And you guys should go and see other parts of the world that you're unsure about. If you want to know more about, never believe the stereotypes that come through the United States about other countries. Take advantage of it and go. And that's what you're giving through the politics. I feel like you could give that and paint that picture. So I'm excited for you and everything that you have in store. So let's get into business. Okay, so let's talk about your business and your perfume company. If everyone doesn't know, yes, she's a business owner. And you started a while ago. So let's talk about that journey and things like that.
So where I come from, like, I have a lot of family, like, you know, and it's funny how family and fans like really influence somebody to kind of make different decisions in their lives. But, you know, looking good, smelling good is a major deal. Like, it's really something, you know, there's these songs, there's actually a singer that says, oh, smell your smud mumba, which means like smell really good. Like, so it's like the first concept is like women always want to smell good. Or, you know, people always want to smell good, men or women, let's say it like that. When men or women, everybody always wants to smell good. So it was like, perfume's a great idea to start a business. You know, when I first came and I was working at a restaurant, it's like, this ain't gonna do it.
This is not gonna cut the check.
This is not like, it's not, because, you know, I'm working for somebody. He's making, you know, how much. So I did the calculations in my mind. I'm like, there's no way you could actually survive off working for somebody.
Right.
So that pushed me to want to have a business. Once I wanted to have a business, the idea was now, what am I going to be able to sell? What am I going to make it happen?
Right. And I remember when you were actually starting it.
Yeah.
So when did you actually start it? Was 2018?
It was April 2018.
Oh my God. And you were around campus like,
yeah, try the perfume, get the
try
samples.
perfume, see
And
it, you know?
the thing about being a business and what I've learned, so I started with the samples. I had people at school take this, sample it, if they like it. I had 3 different options and they liked the one that they did like, I made that into like a larger formula.
I do remember that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then, the bottles, I had to, what kind of bottles would I like, what kind of design I wanted, and I actually sent it back home. And it was pretty successful back home too. And it was pretty successful back home. But, the problem with back home is you have to find somebody that's as motivated and as energetic.
A business partner.
And also somebody that's, honest.
Yes.
Because that's also the major problem when you're trying to, like, outshort things, especially with family and stuff. It's, like, it's really hard and complicated because of all the cultural aspects of it.
Or even understanding on this is what you want to do, I believe in it. It's really hard to get that too.
That is also very hard. And even if like they have it, it's like if you're not there yourself kind of like doing the marketing, that's what really makes it hard. So the first time I did send like 10 bottles, all 10 bottles were like really good, sold really fast. And after 2 months, I got the money back. I was like, wow, this was actually, this was profitable. This was very profitable.
This is actually good.
It's actually good. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So, after that, with school, I still work and everything else. And like, even with you, it's kind of hard because perfume is something that demands a lot of marketing. It's not like clothes where you could just see it online and be like, oh, this looks cute, I want to buy this. Or, wigs and stuff. It looks cute, I want to buy this. With perfume, you really have to like, so, it has to be mouth to ear, like, oh, I tried this, it smells really good. Definitely. Would you like some? And that's really where it comes, like, the triple effort. And sometimes I feel like if I had the time, like, if the time was permitted, like, if I had the time, it would be, things would be like, boom,
Right.
But what I've learned also is entrepreneurship is like, it's like college.
Yes.
It takes time to grow. Sometimes you have to stop, think about what you really want to put out there again.
You might wake back up.
Yes, and right now we're in sleep mode.
Yes.
For us, it's in sleep mode. I do still have products, but like because I'm not able to, market to that extent, obviously it doesn't work without marketing.
Definitely.
So
marketing is very important, like we said in the beginning of the show. So I did see your blog. Can you talk a little bit about that, how it's incorporated into Flores and how you're trying to really impact a whole community of women?
So initially Flores was a lifestyle brand. So initially the name Flores comes from my alter ego self when I was younger. A lot of times, like people who really know me that I did school with in Mali in like middle school.
Oh, so wait. So you did middle school in Mali?
Yes, I did my middle school and high school in Mali.
Wow.
So people used to even think it was my last name. That was funny, but Flores is kind of like this alter ego I created as a kid or whatever. So growing up, it was kind of like this fierce woman that wasn't afraid of anything, and that's really what kind of I wanted to be. And seeing that a lot of people didn't have that opportunity or didn't have that occasion, didn't kind of go for that. So the blog is kind of like, I like writing. Writing is kind of another passion of mine.
Wow.
So the blog is really just very diverse in the sense where it's like, African feelings. Like my favorite blog post article that I wrote was Father, Oh Father, which kind of talks of an American perspective of how the child support system kind of, it's manipulative. It's also like, the jurisdiction system is $1 billion company. These are all the things that kind of push me into politics.
Yes.
And I did a whole report. It was for a class, but
those classes that we do that
for? Those classes.
You guys don't even know.
Like, it was a social science class. And honestly, it was really one of those things where, I went out, I did the interviews, I went to the court, actually saw, a trial happening.
Right.
And it was kind of like, wow, it's sad in the sense where when I take a look, and I kind of use this as both two perspectives, right? Because I was in both areas, so I have two perspectives of it. In Africa, it's not like there's no such thing as child support.
Yeah. Oh, it's no such thing as child support.
So it's like the man really, it's not enforced.
Okay, right. It's not like, because you know why? There's no government breathing down y'all neck.
Yes, so there's no one really, there's a government breathing down our necks, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, let's say that.
Let's get that clear.
It's for the wrong reasons compared to so nobody's really enforcing the system where, a man has to pay for the child or whatever. And over there too, but then again, there's no way, there's a very hard way that a mother can also say that, oh, the father can't see his kid. kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's also another thing included with that. That would be very hard. Like, it is really up to, like, even if the parents disagree or can't get along, the family interferes. Is like, okay, the child needs to go here.
Yes.
Like, there's always this family thing going on where that kind of protects the child from any kind of back and forth between the parents.
I've seen that when I even went to Africa. I seen two twins. It's hard to talk about them because their mother had died, and the village. The village took care of them, and I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, one of the twins did die last year. And
you stay in contact with them?
Yeah, I stayed in contact with Belkisa, the girl that took me with her to Africa. Her mother was the godmother, so she did tell all of us that we were like, dang. But just to know that the family dynamic was still there when they didn't have their mom or their dad, they were still nutritious. Like they had on everything. They were still fed and everything. And just certain circumstances happen where people get sick, and it just happened. But just that point alone, it's just like, you have that family dynamic in Africa, and I love it.
That's definitely one thing that kind of separates it from here.
Definitely.
Where here, it's really, you're on your own. Even raising your child, you're on your own.
Yes.
If you get into argument with the husband, or God forbid the husband is there, or even the child's father, it's really like, you have to really step up or just kind of watch the future fade away. So
definitely,
that's definitely something that I felt, for me, it was really interesting. And when I did the report, I was like, oh yeah, I want everybody to see this, what I wrote, because it was really, I got an A on that too. So, so it was really worth.
Always the best thing.
Yeah, at the end, and it was like, I put, it was very interesting, because I spoke with somebody, one person I interviewed, and he was talking about his situation, like how he spent 4 years basically fighting for his daughter. And the mother, just because of jealousy or envy, especially after he got married, like after jealousy or whatever, just kind of took the child away, put a restraining order, like any kind of anything she could do or say to make sure that he doesn't see his daughter. And he hasn't seen his daughter, maybe it's been 6 years now.
Wow.
So that kind of case, and I've never seen somebody so emotional. Well, I've never, like, I haven't. But
you don't, you see,
I didn't know how to deal with it.
Like, how do I deal with this? I can't even understand why they're so emotional.
And it's like,
and you wrote about it.
Yep.
And that was beautiful.
And so that's really, till this day, one of my favorite articles. I also have different articles about, like, just, being Malian in general, certain taboos, women empowerment.
A few different.
There's really, it goes from fictional to non-fictional to depending on the circumstance. So
that's so great. You might have motivated me to start a blog, because I'm a writer. And I write all kind of things. I write stories, music. I produce this show. I write this whole show out.
Yes.
So I do want to get into writing. So that's another thing that I'm trying to do. And so you motivated me. Thank you so much to get back into writing, because I always say, like, I need to get back into writing.
It takes time. Like, sometimes you'll have writer block for months.
Yeah, I think this was I had writer blocks for like 6 months, because I haven't wrote since I left school. But the last thing I do remember is that I was encouraged to write before I left, and now you're encouraging me even more. So thank you for that. All right. So how has it been balancing Flores, your perfume company, and your blog, of course, but work and school? Like, how has that been, being a student?
It's been extremely hectic. It's been really hectic.
You guys hear, it's been very hectic.
Yes, it's hectic. And I have a professor. I'm taking an entrepreneurship class this semester.
Wow.
So she's like, oh, I don't need to break you guys, because entrepreneurship will do that. And that is, like, it's true. It's so very true, because honestly, like, at times I get home, I leave school here almost every day, like at 10, 11. Like, almost every day, 10, 11, I'm leaving school. I
was scared. I did leave around like 8 o'clock one time.
No, I've been in school 2 a.m. Like, sometimes it's just like I just feel like I have to make the sacrifice to do this, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow.
Do you also feel like City College is like a safe haven for you, or it helps you get the work done?
City College does help me get the work done, in the sense, it's also a place to start great debates. But,
and connections, right?
Yes, but it does help me get the work done. Sometimes, like, I'll just be in the office, I'll do all the debating, and then I'll still stay later just to get the work done. Which is smart. But yes, and then the next day you have to work early in the morning, or there's times where it's just like you have this due. So it's very, and especially with USG stuff, it's very, like, which is like a full-time job plus whatever full-time is. So it's kind of like, I just try to mingle everything into one big pot. So I make a to-do list.
Right. And that's great.
And that's really, for me, it's been the most effective way is making that to-do list in an hour. Like, so in this hour, this is what I need to do this, and this. Or I'll focus, okay, when I finish this thing, that's a school thing, I'm going to do the next one that's going to be a USG thing. And then after that, I'm going to do something that's, my personal project thing.
Definitely.
Because I feel like it's really important that, we're doing all these things, but, you also want to, all this is being done at the end of the day to kind of realize your dreams.
Definitely. And actually keep you on track.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Like this book right here, people think I just be coming on the air and getting it. No, this is like my third book. And it's like different tabs. I have like goals, editing, questions.
I used to be good with journaling, but
no, this is all messed up. This is just like what you need. This is probably like different pages have different things, but that either way, if it goes, even for journaling or writing down your tasks, that's a great way to keep on track and balance everything that you have.
It's not easy, but it's like that really writing it out and having like a mental note of it. Like not even mental note, really. That doesn't work. You really have to have it written out. That's what really, it's like, okay, I can do this now. I know.
I'm calm now. I'm not catching anxiety attacks.
Yes, definitely.
I might get an app. No, stop. Just kidding. But it's really hard, especially with the school, with the midterm.
And City College can be like, especially like depending on the professor, you can have like tough courses. Like, and this semester, that's really what I'm going through. Like, I'm not used to having tough courses.
It's real.
But this was like, wow. So it's very much something that, you just have to kind of figure out what you can do to get back on track, or what you could do to like, get yourself back. And it's really important, like when you're in situations where you just know you have so much in your life, make your professor your best friend.
Definitely. And connect with them. Like I have professors to this day that I'm still cool with. Yeah. Literally. So right now we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about culture, women empowerment, and a little bit more about your blog, because I did see something that I really enjoyed. So when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in here at City College Campus. Thank you. Shout out to my Facebook and my Instagram Live.
Yes. Thank you guys for showing up.
Tuning in. I appreciate you guys. But right now, we're going to jump into some music. This is an unsigned artist. And I know I was going to spin the music at 1, but I'm just going to start now. This is an unsigned artist named Rich Carter out of Harlem. And I'm going to spin his song. And we're just going to come right back. We're not going to take a long break. And when we get back, you're not going anywhere, right?
No, I'm here.
Okay, go. So, guys, stay tuned. This is the hottest hour lunch talk with your girl, Cher Ferguson. You guys don't want to miss. Okay, sorry, my breath is like super hot. I don't got any water for me. But this is an unsigned artist. It's actually kind of different.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but the song was playing already. I had a whole playlist, but it was playing while we were
Shorty, right away I trip.
Hey y'all. Yo, babe. Woo! And we are back. We are live. And it's the hottest hour lunch talk with your girl, Cher Ferguson. And my special guest is still in the building. So we were just playing some heat. So who was that we was just playing?
So that was Sidiki Jabate. So Sidiki, you could tag him at Sidiki Jabate. He was on. So he's basically right now kind of like one of, I want to say he's, he's a young artist. His father was actually known for traditional music. So we have this instrument in Mali called the kora. So that's the one with like a big round. And
I can't wait to go to Mali. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. What do you guys do for Thanksgiving? You guys cook or no?
In Mali?
No, here. No?
Here?
No.
Well, for New Year's, you were having a potluck on Tuesday. So if you're at City College, or even if you're not, you're around the Harlem area, make sure to pop out for that. It's going to be on Tuesday, November 26th, the USG potluck. We have a lot of different clubs that are going to be coming: African Student Union, FBSU, NCAW, Dream Team, LGBTQ+A, UMan.
Yes.
It's,
Shout out to everybody on campus.
IGC, we're co-starring with IGC.
I'm coming. I say I'm coming.
So that's going to be at this school in the faculty dining room. Siddiqui, really, back to Siddiqui. Yes.
Yeah. Siddiqui I love the song.
So yeah, he's kind of like, he really dominated the scene on an international level at this point. So that's kind of why I like to rep him anywhere I am, because it's like, you know, it takes a lot of work to, you know, to get, his father, he had his father was already kind of international, but very classical.
Wow.
So in a very classical way.
The music alone got me already like,
and he uses, and you know, he's using basically modern words that we use in our generation, but also like classical music in the background. It's classical instruments.
I can tell. It's amazing. Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much. We're gonna spin some more of his music. Siddiqui, right? I don't want to say the wrong thing. Siddiqui. Shout out to you and everybody in Mali. I hope she gonna share it with y'all.
I'll share
on YouTube, and I hope you guys.
I'll definitely once you share. I'll share it on YouTube, on Facebook.
Yeah, whenever you guys. Just to stay tuned, because we need everybody to tune into this. This is like legendary. I'm so happy to get to interact with people that are from Africa, because I don't know if my ancestors come from there, but they do. So it's like, I don't know which ancestor, I don't know what generation, but I know somewhere, somehow in Africa, they was there and they came here. And hopefully in the future, I will find out the history about my family, the ancestors, and generation. But just you alone coming from Mali in here and living your life and really making it, doing it, it's really great.
Trying.
So when I see you back at home and you're at like a wedding or you're at like a festivity and you guys are all dolled up, I'm just like, God. What the? I'm like, I want to be a part of this.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. So let's talk culture. How does your culture define who you are?
That's a big one, because you know, sometimes I kind of feel like there was a moment where I felt like, you know, oh yeah, there's a lot of things I don't do, and I'm, you know, that I don't kind of like live the way, a certain lifestyle, because of the culture I was brought up in. So I guess it's a discipline at the end of the day. And this is
like what? You don't drink.
I don't drink. That's because religion smoke. And culture is that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to a club since I've been to America.
It's okay. She don't go to the club.
Yeah, I don't, and that's not even like, I have a lot of friends that go to clubs, like even Malians. So it really depends. Like even there's clubs there. You go to clubs and everything. But for whatever reason, I just don't do that stuff.
And
like,
you married.
Yes, like
and she's married.
I got married early too, so that's something
fine.
that's culture kind of. I would say culture, but also I did kind of know what I wanted exactly.
That's great, because honestly, you could be 20, you could be 22, you could be 40, and if you know what you want, you know what you want.
Yeah.
And then, that's like me and my boyfriend. I'm like, I don't know, but he wanted to get married a long time ago. We had our ups and downs, so I was still looking at him like, how you want to get married to me? But he was really young, and I was like, let's wait. We not married, but I want to.
And I remember this because the first time you told me,
like you know, so it's a lot, but relationships come with ups and downs. And you and him, are you guys from the same culture?
Yes, we are from the same culture, the same country. We actually were neighbors when we were younger. So yes, which just makes it really funny, because at the time he's always like, oh, I was really feeling myself when I was 13. So it was kind of like, I guess the conversation is just so much more like relaxed, I guess, when you have a kind of relationship like that with somebody that you consider a significant other.
And you can understand. I know you guys have your understanding, and it's hard to make it here in the United States.
It's hard to make it anywhere at the end of the day, like even back home, because
I want to move to Africa. If they had a way like Israel for people to return back
and have an integration system,
we would be rich in Africa.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, even for somebody who like me, and this is like the part which is kind of like, when I go back, it's still awkward because now I'm seen as a stranger. Compared to like, even though I was raised there, like mind you, I was there from 11 to 18, or like 11 to 19 actually. I was living in Mali, so I had like, you know, family, friends, like my childhood friends are all from Mali, but now, you know, they're all kind of all over the place when it comes to just college and stuff and everything. So some are in Turkey, some are in Canada, they're all over the place. But we have conversations, like we have our little chats and stuff. It's like, I want to go back, but dang, going back is kind of like,
it's real. It's like a barrier.
Because the people, and you realize too, and I feel like with me, like personally, you also realize that when you go back, it's not like the people that were there were just stagnant. They also advanced.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes they advance 5 times higher than you.
Definitely.
Because it's like, you know, they had the time to create the network there. They had the time to make the relationships there.
I just love it there because of the family dynamic. Like, I don't care where we were.
It can be troublesome too, though.
It could, but but when I was there, we ate every night together. I don't care if we were in a mansion, if we were in a village, a hotel. We still ate together.
Yeah, and that's something that's really like, you know, in the market, like even like that's something, like that's regular. Like even when I was there, like recently, you know, me, my dad, and his mom, like my grandma, every morning we eat breakfast in the afternoon. Like, and you know, that's just kind of like, that's true. That is something that you really miss. But it's also family dynamics come with, you know, family members also feeling like, you know, they have to, especially when you're the child, especially when you're the first child, everybody feels like they have to guide you in a certain sense so you understand, not realizing that our circumstances aren't the same.
Yes, or we have to fall and get up in order to really learn.
Yes, but it's also our circumstances aren't the same either. Like, it's like, you know, I can't tell you anything about journalism or anything about, you know, because you've had that experience. Definitely. So it's kind of like, even if I'm trying to advise you on something that I don't have any knowledge on. Yeah. And a lot of times with family dynamics, that's the issue. They advise you or they push you to do certain things that aren't, it's not to your personal benefit. And you're supposed to say yes because, you know, the elder, the adult, or the aunt, you know, so it's kind of like,
show respect at all times.
At all times, everything. And it's understandable, but it's also at a time where you're also dealing with a generation that knows, like, I'm not gonna lie, you're dealing with a generation that is ambiguous in the sense where they know what they want. Yeah. Yep.
And
when you're dealing with and it's like we're not, and you know, it's like it's a kind of rebellion, like a low key rebellion, a subconscious rebellion. Whereas the case where, you know, they're not, and you know, they say this when, you know, kids nowadays don't listen to people. It's because kids nowadays have access to all this technology. They see the world.
Yeah, and they see that they want these different things, and it's not as easy as you can grab it and get it. So we have to try to, like, I just want to bring the cultures together. Eventually, I know like the music has been crossing so many barriers.
Especially Afrobeats has been really
yes. But they always try to put Afrobeats in a different category from Africa, and it sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's not UK. I mean, hey, let me not get into this because I don't want anybody. I can be this. When I first started this show, I would just go on and I would just be sometimes biased, sometimes sharing my opinion too much, and I decided that I would be more broad because we don't know what everyone goes through, and it's just hard to see that other side of the light. You know, like.
It's sad that you have to go to, you know, that a Nigerian artist would have to go to the UK and be known in the UK to actually, you know, have Afrobeats considered.
Right.
And like whether it's music or whether it's anything, it's very hard to like. It's hard. Like at the end of the day, like I said, like for Siddiqui, that's why Siddiqui's kind of like his example because he did all this while still in Mali. Like he lives there. Wow. He still lives in Mali. He still goes, like his life is there. Like his friends and everything is there. But he was able to, you know, get signed by. He got signed by Universal Music Africa and Sony. He got signed by. So yeah, I believe he got signed by Sony Music as well. I'm not sure. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, and he was able to do all this there. Like at the end of the day, yes, your dad might be known or whatever, but it really depends on your talent at the end of the day. And this is someone who didn't even start out as a singer. He was just a producer.
Wow. You never know where it could take you. Hopefully we'll see him more in the US, but I know we will. Do you know DJ Buka?
Yes, I do actually. I know Buka was actually shout out to DJ Buka, yes. But for the ASU fashion show last year, he was the DJ and he was the DJ who did the after party as well.
I did a quick interview with Buka, but I have to revisit that in a year or so because I want to actually sit down with him in a certain space. Excuse me. I want to sit down with him in a certain space and get his culture vibes like in his space because he came here, he DJed for like 30 minutes. It was dope, and I couldn't put the DJ live up. I can save it to my record, like, you know, my archive. I can't put it on YouTube. They shut me down. Any music I play, like this live right now, I don't own copyrights to this music, but in order to put it out, I have to edit it.
Wow.
So everybody that doesn't know, you can't put music. People have copyrights on all their music, and they'll shut your whole down.
Wow.
So he came and he spent nothing but classical, nothing but dope music, Afro beats, African traditional music, all kind of stuff. And I just want to shout him out because he's gonna be the one next up to actually really put Africa back on the map.
Yeah, and also like Buga is somebody, he's very like the time that we work together, he's very humble,
my God.
and that's something, and I'm like that's something that's needed in any kind of industry, and that's something that we as humans like lack. Like
yes,
in general,
my God.
we lack humbleness, and it's so true. Like even once you see yourself in a certain position, it's like, oh, okay, now I can act up a little, but no, you're not supposed to.
No,
yeah, you don't used to say humble.
Bring it down.
Yeah, because you never know, and that humbleness actually brings like a lot of opportunities and opens a lot of doors.
I'm so humble, and I'm a mom. Where's opportunity? I know they're coming. I'm just thankful. Honestly, yeah. I'm just thankful I can still be able to do this.
Yes,
because it can be totally different.
It can.
So let's get into women empowerment because you're big on that.
Yes.
So how do you go about supporting other women competitors in the business industry? What I mean is, sometimes it's good competition, but how do you deal with it?
So far I haven't not on the same level, at least seen somebody like with the perfume business or whatever, but I think it's important to we have to you have like you have a big major outbreak actually of with female black women business owners starting their own. I have a cousin starting her lip gloss and then doing her eye contacts. Like it's so much, especially when I saw the perfume, all three of my friends, Fatu Drew, Mimi, they was all doing something on the side, and it's like, and it was amazing in the beginning because it's like the energy I'm doing is pushing off of you, and our energies were just kind of gliding off of each other.
And that's amazing because you want, I have goosebumps literally right now.
Because in my mind, it's like there's enough for everybody to eat at the end of the day. If my friend's a major producer and on a TV, this major channel, and I'm in Africa with this big company, at the end of the day, we can come. I want us to be able to come to this 5-star restaurant, have a brunch, because we can afford to live that way.
Right.
It's like
each other.
Instead of bringing each other down. And honestly, it makes no sense. Exactly. To a certain extent, it doesn't even make sense why there is this, women competition or women going against each other's necks. Or
it wasn't raised right.
Yeah, but it's a reality. And it comes through envy. And the problem about it is, it can be there's a solution to all this. There's not really enough for everybody to get their coins. Everybody can, whatever domain you are, we could have the same exact kind of prototype or app, but how many financial apps do you know that exist?
Right.
But they all make their money.
Definitely. And thank you for sharing that point, because we do have to know, it's opportunity for all of us to get money. And it's some of my friends, I don't know about your friends. I went through this with my friends when I went to college, and some of them wasn't going to college, and it was just whatever, you don't want to support.
It's always that, and my husband likes to say your worst enemies isn't somebody that doesn't know you. It's the people that are closer to you.
No, yeah.
And that's just because they know your life. Somebody who doesn't know your life can't fight you or can't not like you because they don't know you.
Down. Yeah. But the people that are actually, and someone did tell me that too. I met a business owner. She does she creates her own skin cream, oil, bath bombs, scrubs, all natural products. And she's very interested in Africa as well, in Egypt. She's really dope. Make a long story short, she told me, she said your enemy will study you, and it'll be the person right next to you. They will study you, and they will actually try to hurt you, and you will never know, because this is the person that's close to you.
Yep. And that has really, and I feel in the sense where, especially back, that's something that's very permanent in our community, Black in general, not African, not African American, Black in general.
Definitely.
It's worse in certain ethnicities more than others, but in our community, it's very prominent. It's nobody wants the other to succeed because they don't have the courage to do it themselves.
Definitely. And we have to start promoting, we have to support each other. And I do feel we are.
We are, but it's also, you have to, in my opinion, it's a very social media thing.
Yep.
It's a very social media thing. It's not something that's actually it's happening. You have there's a Black business owner convention, Buy Black convention, and stuff like that, which is amazing, which is these are things that, that should be, happening more. But if you really look at the statistics and the numbers, people are still buying general millionaire products or
Definitely.
stuff like that, when you could be buying, from, your community. And even back home, in Mali, it's very, competition is rude in the sense where they're not even competing with you for a product. They're competing with you just like that. So
period.
Just competing with you
with the dress now.
It's sad that, and that's why I really hope that I'm seeing thank God they have the minister right now who's really doing she's doing these activities. Like there's a weekly startup competition that happens where they give money. So you have little things that are happening. It's not major resources, but it's better just to have that, like, okay, there's like, this is happening, people are doing this, especially with women entrepreneurship, which is something that's being promoted on a global level to an extent. And
what does that look like to you, and what does that mean to you, if like women supporting each other? If you can give me an example.
So for me, in the ideal world where women actually support each other, there would be like, in an ideal world where there would be the wing.
No.
So the wing is kind of like a WeWork but for women.
Oh.
So it's I think it's New York based and Los Angeles based.
Wow, thank you for that.
Yeah, so it's like they have like these spaces and everything. So in an ideal world, there would be multiple things like that all over the globe. Like in Africa, for example, instead of having these entrepreneur women competing each other, I guess who looks the best,
right?
They would be like, okay, this is they're not in the same domain. I'm doing real estate. You're doing this. You're in architecture. You're doing this.
Doing hair. You're doing this.
Let's actually put money in together. Let's put a part of money in together to create this large building, or to create this infrastructure, or to create this, or to create this. In an ideal world, like there is enough, we would have a certain, everybody would have a certain amount of profit that they would be able to kind of put back into the community as a team or as a community,
Amen.
So for me, that's kind of what it looks like. And it starts with, kind of appreciating each other.
Yes. And understanding each other. I think, a lot of friends that I have, this is personal, I don't really go personal, but a lot of friends that I have, they don't really want to do business with their friends. They rather do business with their guys that they meet that are not
gonna stay for long.
Yeah, that's not gonna really stay for long. And so you see people starting businesses and closing them down. Or I started a business, empowerment company and a film company with a young lady. And right now we're not talking right now, but I know in the future we will come back together. But it really sucks that dudes came in between our friendship and our business. And so that's why I have to, like, I really want to do more and encourage females to support each other.
And it's important. Like, the thing is, even in when you're in any kind of relationship, like even like husband and wife relationship, a lot of times these things fail. Relationships or marriages fail because there's really nothing that's kind of pushing you guys for a common goal.
Definitely.
And especially when it comes to African relationships, like I said, Malian relationships, specific to my my experience, is that a lot of times it's like the husband's doing one thing for his personal gratification, the woman's doing another for her personal gratification. And then it's like you guys are supposed to be a team.
Yeah.
And if it takes you 5 years to get there and takes him 5 years to get there, then it's taking y'all 10 years basically to have some kind of thing. Compared to if you guys do it together, have a common goal, have a common thing, you're going to get there a lot faster.
Yes, and understanding.
And with women and with all of us, it's the same way. Like, it's always faster let's all invest together, but nobody trusts. There's not enough trust. Even with your best friend, there's not enough trust to make that happen.
Right?
Yeah, so it's like when it comes to money, there's no trust.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Yeah.
But we understand. So I seen a quote on your page, and it said, girls compete with each other and women empower each other. And I just wanted to say that on air because I felt that. When I read it, I was like, dang, this is deep. How does that quote, what does that quote mean to you? Excuse me.
Girls compete is because at the end of the day, it's about a level of maturity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to realize, and I feel like regardless of age, people lack in maturity.
Yeah.
And that's something I've came to. Like, when you're young, you're like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be like this. And then you realize, like, the grown-ups you're dealing with, you probably might be mature with them.
Right.
The people you were inspired by, you might be more mature than them.
Right.
So that's really something that kind of, like, stuck with me, is that, we don't have the same level of maturity. And a lot of times you have women who are in their 30s, 35, still acting like, they 15, 17.
Agreed.
When it comes to, and the thing is also, nobody actually teaches you how to deal with, like, emotional conflict.
Agree.
Nobody teaches you how to deal with somebody you can't tolerate. Nobody teaches you how to deal with a friend, a boyfriend. Nobody teaches you how to basically separate emotional things from like, nobody teaches you these things.
Right. You just have to actually, well, sometimes, some circumstances, like, someone can try to teach you that. Like, for me, my son, I can be like, stay away from them dirty girls. And It's not. It's going through one ear,
but that's not the solution.
Exactly. It's going through one ear out the other, and he's not gonna learn until he goes through it himself. You know what I'm saying?
And it's also kind of the conversation where like it has to be different a little more. Yeah, it can't be just don't talk to this person. Don't say, like like it's kind of like with African kids. A lot of times you grow up with your parents telling you African American kids are bad.
Yeah.
Don't talk to them.
No. Yeah.
Stay away from them. But it's like that's because our parents have one perspective. Our parents had one perspective of what an African American is, which was what the media portrayed.
Exactly.
Who was behind the media.
And y'all don't even know this, but y'all gotta know that they portray African people that live in Africa into America like they're dirty, they live in trees, they're like this and that.
But we have
everything over there, they portray us to be dirty.
So
we live in trees.
As it's a creation, it's an institutional creation of a segregation that is going to keep us apart. And as long as we stay segregated, there won't be no community.
It will never be a community if we continue to separate ourselves and bring in and just bring in too much drama. Like I feel like some of the people, like even African people, we all black people, period. We just
realize that when you come here,
period. We all bring in different things. I don't just come together. So that's the end goal. I think we have the same goals.
Yeah. So I feel like to kind of piggyback on the question is kind of like, empowerment starts with basically understanding why I don't want this person. Why would I not want this person to succeed?
Agree.
Why would I not want? Like, once you ask yourself these questions, like even like when you have a little jealousy in your heart, oh damn, she got this, I don't have this. Ask yourself, well, she might have this. What is she doing to get that?
Agree.
What can I do? What can I do to kind of like, oh, maybe I should
call her.
Yeah, maybe
call her and
ask her,
what
baby.
She did.
I really like what you're doing. And at the end of the day, it's like, and for the person who's asking and the person who's responding, it's like at the end of the day, whoever's asking is like, I really, I like your lifestyle.
Yeah.
I like the way you do what you're doing. I don't know if it's just social media or
so mature.
But I really want to
you are
but
so
I want
mature.
I want you to tell me like, what can I do to be, better? Like you kind of inspire me. And the person who's answering, it's humbleness.
Yes.
You have to realize that, you might not be exactly where you want to be, but not everybody knows that. Everybody thinks you're already there.
Woo-woo. So I love that. Thank you so much, girl. See, this is why she came on the show, y'all. Thank you so much for that, because we need to hear the words of empowerment. Like that was just empowerment for me alone. Like I'm good. Go home and cook and clean. Do it all. So right now we're gonna take a break, but when we get back, we're gonna close out, and I want to know everything you have in store for 2020. How does it feel to be an entrepreneur, of course, and are we gonna see Flores coming back? Because I need some. I need some. So and I have to get some because I love it. So thank you again for everyone tuning in on my Facebook Live, my Instagram Live, and of course thank you to everybody tuning in on City College campus. Don't move. Don't even move. Wherever you're standing right now, stay there. Continue watching, and we'll be back with more. This is the Hottest Hour Lunch Talk with your girl, Cher Ferguson. Stay tuned. The music cut. The music cut. Oh, hey. And we are back. We are live. And it's the Hottest Hour Lunch Talk with your girl, Cher Ferguson. And my special guest is still in the building. And we went over the time a little bit today, but it's okay because we had real stuff to talk about, right, girl? We had a lot to talk about. So before we go, I wanted to know a couple more things. I wanted to know, how does it feel to be an entrepreneur?
Honestly, I think it's just the beginning. Like, this is like, for me, this is only just like a test drive, basically, of being an entrepreneur, or like, not even like this, but yeah, just a test drive, because, with Flores and just, the perfume, from getting the bottles, the design, to kind of figuring out the pricing, all that for me was just an experience within itself to like, whatever the bigger picture is going to be. So.
Amazing. I can't wait to see everything that you have in store, especially with your blog, because it touches so many people. Like anyone could visit your blog and be like, okay, cool. Like,
hopefully it's diverse enough.
Yeah, it is diverse enough. I mean, anyone that wants to know will click and find out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks. Especially social media right now. I feel like a lot of people with the marketing and business, they're like, okay, I need to get on Instagram and Facebook, which I did feel like that was very important. But I do feel like what's going on now in the next few years, you got to get out there and make that connection. Actually hit the streets.
Yes.
And and give your business cards out and connect.
It's like indirect marketing is still a major thing.
Definitely.
And it's the number one source of kind of marketing.
Yes. I still see posters hanging up. I just seen Dave East poster hanging up in the Harlem, and people like, even if I was to create a poster, you might see it, you know what I'm saying? But it's nothing wrong with just marketing all across the board. It's very important, guys.
And it's not only one way. Like, even when you come to promote it, if you're promoting your event only on one, so you're not getting a big turnout. So it's kind of like,
it's hard.
That's what it means. You have to, like, the more merrier.
Yeah, you have to do a turnaround. Like, I do the Facebook, I do the Instagram, and I try to put it on YouTube because I like YouTube, and it has a whole nother audience.
It also keeps it like a historical,
it's
documentation at the end of the day.
Definitely, and I would have forever. So before we go, I wanted to know, what do you have in store for next year, 2020, and do you have any upcoming events coming up?
So in store, I am working on a little project.
I'm gonna know about it. We're gonna say that yet?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay.
Because I'm just one of those people. But I do have a little project that I'm working on with a team of African women as myself. So hopefully it has something to do with finance. But which is I'm not even a finance person, but it has something to do with that. Hopefully that does go through. So we're gonna see how that goes. If it does, you'll know by spring.
Great.
Something else also, I'm definitely gonna have my blog. I'm gonna be working on that. I have 2 articles coming up, and I do kind of use my class time to kind of make these things happen. So whatever I have to do for class, I'll just make it something that I'm really interested in to make sure I can get on my blog. So the disconnect between North African women and women of the Sub-Sahara. That's gonna be kind of what the first topic is going to be touching upon.
Wow, strong.
Yeah. And then also another one is going to be the crisis in Mali, because from 2012 to 2013, Mali had this crisis. We had a coup, and it was due to these, again, it was really based, like light skin versus dark skin.
It's
Arabic versus, this
and
Arabic.
all of these products too that they've been putting out in all these countries to get you to turn certain colors. Just, I don't condone this. I don't condone this. It's a lot, but I do think you need to touch up on that.
Yeah.
And you're amazing.
With the skin bleaching, I know there's a blog that also does a lot of talk about it and how to go back, try to fix the situation and everything. And it's at the end of the day, it's an insecurity problem. And you realize that a lot of the people that I know, and I know a lot of people that do skin bleaching, it no matter how you put it, it's an insecurity problem.
Yeah. And it's also damaging your skin. Let's put that out there, because we all run into situations like me. In the wintertime, I have light spots. In the summertime, I might look darker. In the mid-fall, I might look whatever.
And it don't matter. You just have to really be like does it really matter?
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. There's all makeup out there. Be careful what you use. It's just all the things that we want to encourage you ladies and whoever's listening in to do. So before we close out, can you please let everyone know where they can find you, follow you, and catch up with you?
So you can find me on my Instagram. That's really the only social media I use. I don't use Facebook. I would just have to take a social media break, and I guess I've been on that break forever because it can be draining, time consuming. So my social media is Assetou_Flores.
And I will definitely put it down low, guys, so you guys can have it.
Also my what else? My email is akone608@gmail.com. Actually, respond emails very good. That's really something I'm really very on point with. I'm really on point with that. So those are really the two. You can contact me like that. Upcoming event, the USG as campus VP of Campus Affairs, all the events and stuff I take care of. On November 26th, faculty dining room in the snack. We're going to have a potluck with all different clubs. So definitely come out. There's going to be really good food, amazing food. So make sure you come out before you get to Thursday and make this little appetizer before Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes, I can't wait. So I'm excited for everything you have in store. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I'm gonna make it up to you. I don't know how, but I got something special for you. I got something.
Really?
Coming soon. Maybe a Christmas gift or something. Cause I like to give away stuff.
I don't know.
And it's real. I just love it. So I got something for you. Don't worry, I won't forget you, because look, I didn't forget you this time. I know it took a while to get on the show, but I still held you down. So
yes, you did.
Once again, thank you so much, Cherika, for tuning in. You guys are always great. Thank you to my Facebook Live, my Instagram Live, and of course, thank you to you, Assetou, for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
I love you.
It's my first time doing it, so
girl, it was amazing. So right now, I just want to let you guys know you can follow me at I am Cher Ferguson. So that's CHER Ferguson. No other way. I'm everywhere. So even if you put me on Google Cher Ferguson, you'll find me. You'll find everything I got. Even if you put in Cherika, you'll still find me. So you guys can check that out. This interview will be up soon, and I'm excited. Next week will be my last show of the season. I'm a little sad, but it's time, guys. It's Christmas time. It's holiday time, and I have to get with the family. So tune in next week. I have 2 special guests stopping by, 2 dope artists one is out of VA and one is out of Harlem. Brooklyn. And you guys don't want to miss. So stay tuned. I'm excited, guys. This is the Hottest Hour Lunch Talk. Until next week, I'll be here. Bye.
So this song is basically, this is more classical. This is more Malian, traditional to Malian. So it's by Ferguson-Harrell Kone, who's a griot of Mali. Griot is basically, it's like basically the storyteller version. So there's 2 types. There's one that talks, and then there's the one that sings. So in this song, she's basically explaining things that, like, in a relationship, when your husband does or what he did, that I don't like when you do that.
Ooh.
So that's kind of what this is more modern. This is more of a modern griot mute song than what people are used to back in the days. But hope you guys enjoy. Get a taste of it.
Enjoy. I loved it. Let's see.
Like drum and everything.
I love it. You know this song?
Yeah.